This is Clint Barton, a.k.a. Hawkeye. He is an Avenger. This one, back here. Anyway, he's having kind of a bad day. Or 40. Clint has a habit of pissing off criminals in his spare time. He forced the tracksuit mafia to sell him their apartment building when they tried to raise the rent. He stole a dog they were mistreating, and he accidentally helped this cute girl steal this car from them. Recently, he also pissed off all of New York City's organized crime bosses by stealing their money. Actually, he was stealing it from circus performers who had already stolen it, but try explaining that to crime bosses. And then there was that time he stole a fake tape of himself they were trying to auction off. Look, I said the guy has a habit of pissing off criminals, okay? This is Kate Bishop, a.k.a. also Hawkeye. It's complicated. She has a habit of helping Clint out with this stuff, so she gets a lot of blowback from the criminal community, too. When Clint's not pissing off local criminal organizations, he's actually a pretty good dude around the building. He offers to fix the cable, even though he doesn't know how. He watches Christmas specials with his neighbors. He even joins them all for rooftop cookouts hosted by his buddy Grills. We love Grills. Clint's even able to keep that dog he rescued from the tracksuits. He named him Lucky. Everything seems awesome in the building. Too bad the tracksuits have threatened to kill everyone if Clint doesn't leave town. One night, Clint is playing cards at the Avengers Mansion with Black Widow, Natasha Romanoff, Clint's co-worker, Mockingbird, Bobby Morse, Clint's ex-wife, and Spider-Woman, Jessica Drew, Clint's friend girl. When Penny bursts in, remember the cute girl with the stolen car? She's in trouble with the tracksuits again. Clint's not so sure about getting mixed up in, but hey, look, boobs! A true sucker, Clint helps her out, further enraging the tracksuit mafia and maybe getting in some legal trouble. The next morning, Natasha, Bobby, and Jessica visit Kate to find out what kind of trouble Clint is wrapped up in. Kate tells them everything, but then immediately tries to warn Clint. Kate arrives first. She's attacked by 2 tracksuits waiting outside, but manages to fend them off. While Kate's fighting, Jessica slips in and gives Clint a few well-deserved slaps. On her way out, Jess tells Kate not to hang out with Clint. He's bad for her. Kate tries to console Clint, but he just wants to sleep. 45 minutes later, Bobby slaps Clint with divorce papers. Did I mention Clint has been having a rough year? While she's there, Clint notices the tracksuit's van and Bobby volunteers to investigate. They also attack her, but she also manages to fend them off. Clint goes back to bed again. Meanwhile, Natasha tracks down Penny, who warns her that Clint is going to be killed. That night, Kate attends a party put on by her father and meets an interesting stranger named Carzy. He's actually a monstrous hitman employed by the tracksuit mafia, but Kate doesn't know that. They share a kiss. Kate heads back to Clint's place in hopes of cheering him up. The Hawkeyes shoot some arrows, like Hawkeyes do, but Kate gets fed up with Clint's mopey attitude. Up on the roof, Grills offers Clint some helpful advice for his lady problems. Tell Jessica how he feels. Clint resolves to write a letter and heads inside. Gil, keeps grillin', but then Carzy emerges and shoots him. Dead. But we love Grills. While trying to write that letter, Clint gets called away to do some avengering. Meanwhile, Lucky discovers Grills' body and pieces together some clues. Kate calls Clint to inform him of the news. Clint rushes to the scene, gets depressed, and heads home to pass out drinking beers and watching Rio Bravo. Clint's brother Barney calls out of the blue, and the two plan to get coffee the next day at 9. The next morning, Clint heads out to Far Rockaway to inform Grills' father. They met during Hurricane Sandy. Barney assumed their date was for the morning and arrives at Clint's building only to find 2 tracksuits who offer him money to punch him. Lucky sees Barney getting attacked and rushes to his aid, but recognizes his old master. Remember his old master? And slinks off. As Clint and Kate head out to Grills' funeral, Clint instructs Lucky to keep an eye on the building while they're gone. Kate tries to have a heart-to-heart with Clint, but he falls asleep in the car. Meanwhile, Lucky discovers Carzy and some tracksuits returning to the scene of the crime. A fight ensues, and Lucky manages to tackle one of the tracksuits and his shoe off of the roof. Lucky comes to in some kind of homey tracksuit hideout. He escapes, but wait a minute. Are the tracksuits chilling in Clint's building? Just then, Clint returns home to find the shoe, remember the shoe, and brings Lucky back inside. That afternoon, Barney is once again offered money to let the tracksuits beat him up, and they once again skip out on paying him. Fool me once. Barney fights back, shoots out the tire of their van, and collects his money. He then calls up Clint to clarify what they meant by 9 o'clock. A short time later, the brothers Barton are reunited. Oh. The next morning, Kate decides to leave for L.A. and takes Lucky with her. Barney consoles Clint, and that evening the two head up to the roof for hot dogs just like Grills used to make. Remember Grills? The end. Well, that's cool.